Well, that's annoying. I did a whole thing there, which I did. So anyone saw it, they saw it. And this won't be as good because I have to now explain again because I should have just paused it because it had an interruption and isn't that embarrassing? But basically, yeah, I carried on about the tobacco, utilize the same thing that, and I hate saying things twice. I fucking hate it. It is the bane of my existence. The same way that the tobacco was utilized, and I spoke that, it's the Native American people sat our migrants from Great Britain in teepees, shared their tobacco pipe, and spoke about the moon. And those treasonous Americans distributed that substance and that ideology. They just supersized it. You know what I mean? They supersized it into NASA, into the moon landings, or they didn't. You know what I mean? Or they didn't. But it looks like they did. And it's all like there were two trains of Reformation. One went on a journey to find all the pagan tribes and imprison them, kill them, and steal all their ideas and turn it into Christianity like franchises. And the other one just kind of stayed true in a very slow and steady Reformation, constantly, back to the Jews and back to Rome to find out, the truth. And it's like, and this is why we're here. The Germans, that's where Reformation started, and so they first in line to find a replacement for God, and they found and they developed their own pharmaceutical fucking final solution for that ailment. And they now in Australia, they for at least 20 years, they enforce that final solution of the pharmaceutical God replacement therapy. Pharmaceutical God replacement therapy, patented by fucking the Nazis and by the Germans, is enforced at gunpoint down under, or you are exiled. You know what I mean? And God, we all know what comes next after the fucking exiling. You know what I mean? To a false fucking God or a false fucking leader or a false Führer, any of those things. And I'm only 25% fucking Jewish, not 75% Jewish. I'm 25% Jewish. So the Nazis have gotten way more Nazi-ish, right? And they've developed their Nazi-ness down. And that led me on to, I was talking about two balls that were floating around the swimming pool, and I described it that's basically what anyone has ever been doing, is they're talking about balls floating around in something or other. Galileo, fucking, what's the other one's names? Oh, I can't remember. All of the people speaking about balls floating around in the but these were floating in a swimming pool, and there was a giant yoga ball and this spiky little ball. And then I described basically that, and I have to get to the point because the ball is now no more. But basically the ball looks like COVID-19. It looked like a giant COVID-19 ball. You know what I mean? This is a trend, isn't it? People talking about imaginary balls and bestowing them with magical, conceptual fucking. That's what humans do. That's what all of us have been doing for thousands of years. Is talking about imaginary balls and what they can do. That is magic. And if you don't believe me, you should go and do your own research about that. That's all people have ever. That's the entire fucking Roman pantheon, Greek pantheon, is speaking about giant imaginary balls and bestowing them with magical fucking powers that you then use that narrative to control your people. And so I guess COVID was the most recent comment to that. And it's like, it didn't exist. It wasn't the moon. See, NASA already tried that. The Kennedys already tried that. And that worked. That sold tons of tobacco. That sold a shitload of tobacco. I tell you what, you get people outside talking about the moon, and it is definitely made better by smoking some fucking Native American fucking blood tobacco. Yep. You sat and had a fucking peace ceremony and a diplomatic ceremony with a fucking people that you thought were primitive, and they cursed your entire fucking scummy fucking people for 250 fucking years, culminating to this point. So basically what I did, right, I described how that is called, it's called knobby, knobby, like, which is knob, because it's covered in knobs. That ball there, completely covered in knobs, right? Knobs, which means dick. But if you look closely, the O is actually like a spiky ball, okay? Are you following along? Or am I deep in the fucking conspiracy? That is a spiky fucking ball. Now, if you look again, it says, it could say no BBY. And then I would ask everyone, what does BBY mean? And they'd say, well, that means baby. Right? So this ball is the no baby ball, right? Produced by Hunter Leisure with a giant H on it, like Heil Hitler. Right? So, and this was made in China. So the no baby fucking COVID imitation ball was built by Hunter Leisure, right, in China. And we all remember who the president's son, what his name was? It was Hunter, right? Hunter. And so what I did in the first video is I got this knife, right? I stabbed the ball and then I scalped it, right? And then I licked all the imaginary blood and I wore it like a little yarmulke, like that, despite the fact that I'm only 25% Jewish. And then I mentioned how that, you know, I've already said that. Okay. So that was as a gesture of appeasement to the Native American people, including the new Native American people that are anti-Nazism and that are sick of this shit. You know what I mean? And that's what's always happened, because this is the North American mythology that we didn't know existed because we were too busy, I don't know, like pretending that we were still Christian. Not we, but you all were still Christian, despite the fact that you just killed an entire fucking race of like relatively, you know, peaceful, harmonious occupants of land, stole their sacred plant and made squillions of dollars of it, and then used literally the aluminium foil you wrapped their sacred plant in and charged the fucking earth for and distributed around the earth. You then use that production of aluminium. Also, you mined all the bauxite from their fucking sacred land. You developed nuclear bombs. You made it into fucking things. You killed how many fucking Japanese people? All to sell cigarettes around the world. And it's like every Marine, every single military person in World War I and II had a pack of fucking cigarettes in their pocket or a thing of tobacco. Yeah. And we wonder, it's like the Native Americans did fucking scalp people. They took their scalps off. They were savage, right? Maybe that was the tobacco. Maybe. You know what I mean? And I actually reckon that, like, tobacco always culminates to these strange South American pyramids in which a bunch of people are sacrificed. And that's what this last little genocide was in Israel. That's the world's tobacco, global tobacco consumption, but mainly supply and cultivation and profiteering. And then the sneaky with the fucking making it a health crisis and then jacking the tax up and then, you know what I mean, then having a black market trade and all of this shit. And that all led to Hunter Biden being scalped, metaphorically, on the internet, right? And his no baby fucking COVID solution being sent, or his scalp being sent, I'll send that in the paperwork, with the Scale Matters paperwork that I'm sending to King Charles in order to restore our empire back to a Protestant and holy Christian, you know, Christian empire, and not a roaming fucking band of pagan fucking, you know, human sacrificing like lunatics. Do you know what I mean? It's really no difference. Like what I'm doing here, I just had a cigarette, so I could have one, you could have one, or you could have a peace pipe, right? I'm doing what the Native American people did, right? They said, listen, we can see you on our land. Come and have a peace pipe with us, and we will discuss, you know, a possible thing. And then they came in and said, we are gods. They worship us like gods. We'll take this this is so good. Oh my God. They talked about the moon, and I saw fucking angels, and I saw my fucking future as the fucking emperors of this new land. You know what I mean? I'm floating on the fucking clouds along George Washington and all that shit. And we're like, holy moly, this crowd's going to be a fucking, you know what I mean? They're going to be tough. We sent them there as Englishmen, and they fucking came back as like, you know, tobacco-fueled fucking madmen. And that was then the coffee. Coffee and tobacco. And then we had to we're like, okay, yes, we will have a little bit of coffee and we will have a little bit of nicotine and we will continue our political process and do this. And we insulated it. We were like, and then Australia came, and Australia was kind of like the same but light. It was the light version, still tobacco flying around and coffee, but way hotter and way more of a desert. So a defeated kind of Australian archetype emerged of just like, fuck me, it's hot and these cigarettes make me sick. Better have an iced coffee and a cigarette. Like we're the last, you know, we're the last hurrah of the Native American curse. And we didn't directly invade the Native Americans, although we did the Aboriginals. And God knows that their curses I've had to contend with their curses. Most prominently in the Tasmanian curse, where I sit there and threaten their entire fucking population with imminent decimation unless they paddle into the fucking Southern Ocean and make it all the way to Nazi fucking Disneyland in Argentina. Yeah, who the last Pope, unfortunately, basically, I'll tell you a story. The last Pope got together, right, with Hunter Biden and Joe Biden and tried to create a Galileo fucking heresy about a fucking small imaginary spiky ball that fucking killed everyone, yeah? And then they made, as like the ultimate bait and switch, right? They fucking told you the imaginary spiky ball was going to kill you, and then they put something in you that killed a lot of you. It's not rocket science, yeah? Literally. It's not fucking rocket science. Okay, but that led to a 5-year-long fucking holy war that we won. We won a year ago, and now we're just doing all the mopping up. We're sorting all of that out, and we have totally reformed the Christian church. Okay, but we still have a lot of work to do because we have a huge amount of people wandering around like fucking like Native Americans scalping people, and we need to put the hammer down on that type of bullshit, on the rape, on the murder, on the drugging, on the slavery, on the fucking, you know what I mean, on the going around chopping tongues out of bison and leaving them dead in the fields. You know, all that good shit. All of that has to stop. And so we're going to stop it. And the main way we're going to stop it is we're going to make you all dreadfully broke. So I divided all your properties into 5, and I vanished the other fucking 75% because I'm 25%. Actually, no, it's actually 20%, isn't it? 80%. I 80-20'd the world, right? Because you 80-20'd me and you called my 20% Jewish blood fucking evil, and then you tried to fucking genocide me. You tried to fucking Holocaust me for 20% blood. So now you have 20% of the value of your fucking thing, but you've still got to pay all the 100% back. Do you know what I mean? And if you want someone to blame Hunter Biden, okay? And there's his scalp. So you can blame him perpetually. I don't know, you can have a cigarette and that fucking Hunter Biden. That fucking Hunter Biden. I swear to God, if I saw him in my time, I would have fucking slapped him. What do you expect? You know what I mean? It's like you still own 20% of your property value. Yeah, the Native Americans, the Aboriginals, the Tasmanians, a lot of the Polynesians, do you know what I mean? The South American, all of them dead. Millions of them dead, haunting your fucking nightmares for the rest of your life. Dead, unless you fucking try and find harmony. It's the same with all the Jews that are going to be spread back out around the world. It's like all those Palestinians dead, going to fucking haunt you in your fucking nightmares. You know what I mean? But hey, then the Germans that are blamed for the Jews doing that hurt people. So that's the Germans still rattled by the Nazism, and now the recent Nazism that was inspired by the original Nazism. And that's like when Eminem, someone listens to Eminem and then kills someone. You know what I mean? Everyone blames Eminem. So that's what we're doing. We're blaming everyone, all at the same time, and we're doing that metaphorically like this. And I'm not to blame. That's not what I'm saying. My ancestors have as much, well, I don't know. I don't think we actually did that much because I think I've been fighting a druidic fucking native British war for a long fucking time. Okay, that's why this is the uprising. This is the globalized intifada of tribal people that just want to sit and have a fucking durry with you in a fucking teepee and not have you steal their pot plant and then sell it to the world while telling everyone fucking fairy tales. One fairy tale is enough. Okay? Look how much trouble one fucking fairy tale can cause. Okay? Okay, so you think about that before you start making up some fucking story about a fucking ball. Right? You look down at your own balls and you think, if I spend billions of dollars making up this story about this ball again, that fucking crazy Tasmanian with the knife in his hand is going to come and chop my fucking balls clean off. And you'd be absolutely right. You know what I mean? And the reason I'll do that is to appease William Wallace's fucking memory, because the English chopped his balls off, and I'm 25% Scottish. I'm exactly as amount of Scottish, the same amount of Scottish as I am Jewish. Imagine that. Right? So I will chop your fucking balls off. The moment you're like, hey, I heard about this fucking ball. Yeah, I heard about this ball and it's coming to kill you. Or I heard about this ball and we're all going to go live there. Any of that shit. As soon as it starts coming at it, just think of me in the night, grabbing you around your neck and slicing your balls off and eating them in my fucking Caledonian fucking blue painted fucking... I should do it, but I'm not going to appease the Highland clearances and to appease the Holocaust and to appease fucking Oliver Cromwell's fucking Irish invasion and to now appease the fucking Roman fucking invasion of Great Britain. All of that, and the Native Americans and the Tasmanians, Aboriginals, all of that coming to cut your balls off if you dare fucking start telling a fucking fairy tale while smoking tobacco about a ball. All right? And I love that it's like everyone will be like, that couldn't possibly be. And I'm like, do your own fucking research, cunts. You do your own fucking research. And when you have a full list of fucking replies about how the world wasn't just held hostage by a fairy tale about a fucking ball, and how that hasn't been literally the exact fucking definition of every single civilization. And I will eat my own hat, which is now Hunter Biden's scalp. Alrighty. Well, I'm glad. I think that was better. No, it wasn't as good. The first one was better because I actually stabbed the ball, I scalped it, I did all these things, but it was all right. I elaborated onto some other things. So enjoy your fine afternoon, and look after yourselves, and don't smoke cigarettes.